Happy Tuesday. Today we're going to make a tag for this little art journal. So buckle up and let's get started. Hi guys, it's Tammy with Frou-frou Studio, and I am going to work today in this little art journal that I'm making. It is a little one, like you can put in a pocket or a bag. It's 6 inches by almost 5 inches. And it has the Midori style binding on it, so you can take pages in and work on them, and or take pages out and work on it and then put them back in. I figured that was the easiest and best thing to do for an art journal, since a lot of times you're working with mixed media. The paper set that I used on this one is by Louisa Heinzel, and it's called Urban Mirrors, and I am in love with it. I can't remember how many total sheets there are, but I love them. I mean, that's all I can say is I love them. And you can see what she did is she sketched an image, and then she did the mirror of it on the other side to make a whole page out of it. And then she also included some statues and things like that, butterflies. There's a little bit of floral, some lace, but it is just a absolutely gorgeous paper set. Probably not to everybody's taste, but I really like it, and I thought that doing a little art journal was the perfect highlight for this paper. So that's what I did, and I just took some of my old paintbrushes and put them on the cover. They're grubby, you know, they have paint all over them, and I put some rusting agent on the little metal parts. They weren't really that rusted, but all this paint that's on them is in fact genuine, and there's some little corrugated cardboard here with some gesso on it and another piece here, and then you know, I did a little collage here that says art journal. It's got fabric on the spine, and I added the little orange spatters. They are not on the original paper, and I cut this down, and I actually wrapped it around on both sides, and to give the cover a little bit of sturdiness, because it's a pretty light craft stock. So I just wanted to wrap that around to make it a little bit more sturdy. And then we've got the sari silk to close it. So that's the construction of it. There won't be a whole lot in this on the pages. I am going to use some more of the paper and highlight, you know, get a good start, I guess, hopefully to inspire whoever purchases this journal to continue with kind of the art journaling. And in my mind, this would be kind of like a travel art journal that you would take with you when you would travel somewhere, and, you know, record the places that you're going and things like that with writing, and also with maybe little sketches or little pictures, you know, from wherever you go. So that's my idea. And it just has several different kinds of paper in there. And I actually may substitute some of these because this is just regular coffee dyed or avocado dyed paper. And when I was thinking about what I was going to do for this video, I thought, you know, it might be a good idea to stick some sketch paper or maybe even some multimedia paper in there. So I may take out a few sheets of the regular coffee dye paper and maybe put in some mixed media papers or some sketch papers, maybe even some tracing paper. That'd be kind of cool just for the you know, texture factor. So that's probably what I'll do. And then I have this tag that I have done, or journal card that I have done out of a math card, and I just kind of use some stencils and some stamps and a butterfly on that. And we'll, you know, make a pocket or something to stick that in. What I want to do today is truly experimental. I saw a awesome travel journal on Pinterest where the woman, and I'm sorry I did not write down her name, Dina, and I can't remember her last name. I will put it in the underneath the video in the description box. But she actually does a sketch travel journal, and she makes sketches of the places that she goes, and then she journals around her sketches, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And so my tag that I'm going to attempt is kind of inspired by that and by her. And I have no idea if this is going to work, but we're going to try it and see what happens. This is a picture, and several of the pictures that I'm going to use in addition to those, I have a book that I got at a used bookstore, and it's just a drawing techniques book, and it has a lot of black and white sketches in it. And so I went through and pulled out a couple of sketches from that. Sorry, I'm a little bum-fuzzled here. That I'm going to use. There's a couple of buildings, which we're going to use one of those today. And there's another one. And then, that was just on the bottom. There was also these couple of pages on different stroke techniques for, you know, with the brush and with pens and with inks. And I thought that would be kind of cool to make some kind of collage or something and incorporate some of those. So I tore that out to use as well. I also have these tags that I've made quite a while ago. And I might use one of those. I used Tim Holtz texture medium to make this little brick wall that they're sitting on, and it's got some splatters and a paper doll. So they'll have to be darkened up a little bit to fit our color palette, and probably those ribbons and stuff kind of toned down a little bit, but I thought one of those might look cute in there, but we'll see. So anyway, let's get started on what we're going to do. And like I said, I have no clue if this is going to work, but we're going to try it. And I know before I even get started that I'm going to reach here and get me a baby wipe. So excuse the reach, because I am going to need a baby wipe to clean up. We're going to actually do some oxide work, which I normally don't do on this table. So, all right, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I've got two different script stamps here, and I'm going to just randomly stamp this whole tag. And that's going to represent what I saw on hers as her actual journaling. So we're just going to, I'm not going to worry about, she journaled all around her pictures, all different directions, and so I'm just kind of trying to emulate that by stamping all over the tag. And like I said, this may turn out like something that belongs in the trash, and if so, you'll never see this video and you won't have to worry about it. No, I'm kidding. I will post my failures as well as my successes. Okay, so we've done that, and the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my vintage photo and I'm going to ink around the edges and maybe come down just a little bit onto the tag just to get a little bit of grunge going. Because, you know, what's life without a little grunge? And then, of course, we'll leave the back for journaling, and depending on how messed up it gets, it may have to be covered. I don't like to give someone a tag that's got paint and stuff splotched all over the back of it. So if it gets too messy back there, then we will cover it up. All right, so there's that part. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to put this bad boy on here and glue it down. Am I chicken? Am I scared to do that part next? I think I am. Okay, so I'm gonna revise that a little bit. What I'm gonna do is I am going to make a little pencil mark right here where this picture ends, and just kind of outline where that little dip is, because I'm scared to put it down there and mess it up. So that's what I'm gonna do instead. Now I'm going to take my water brush, which is totally buried over here somewhere. That one didn't. And this is the little fine point one, and I am gonna have to attempt to put some water in this because it doesn't have any. And that worked better than I thought it was going to. Okay, so now we got some water, and I'm gonna do a little smush of the oxide on my tray or my glass mat, and this is speckled egg. And then I'm going to just put my water brush in there, and I'm going to color where, kind of around that, where I drew that outline. I didn't know how much it would wick, and that was why I was afraid to put that picture down first, because I didn't want it to wick on the picture. And basically I'm just adding some color where the sky would be in that picture, just to give it a little bit of color so it's not all black and white. And the color that you use, of course, is entirely up to you. And as you can see, as I get up here toward where I put the vintage photo, it's also kind of bringing that vintage photo in, because I did use the oxide on that. It was not the ink. So it's blending that in as well. Okay, and I think I'm going to take it over my lines just a little bit, just to make sure that I have enough coverage. And I put my picture on. Okay, so there's that. I'm going to wipe that off my mat. These are the wettest baby wipes, and they're really, really soapy. I think they overdid it on that pack. Okay. Now, I'm also going to bring in a little more, actually, of the, oh, that's antique linen. That's not the right one. Of the vintage photo. Same thing, just smushing it down on the mat, putting some water in it. And kind of go over those edges again and let it kind of wick together to give us some grunge. Cover my reinforcer there. Let's stay down here a little bit. Okay, now let's clean that up. And you could, I didn't bring anything over here, but that's an excellent place to have a scrap piece of paper or something, so you could mop that up with the paper, and then you'd have great paper for collage. But I didn't bring an extra piece over here, so I can't do that. Now, if you look at these digitals, you can see, I hope you can see that? That's got kind of a pinkish kind of tint to it there. I am going to try and use some Victorian velvet and see if I can't put just a tad. I'm not going to worry about putting a lot, and I want it to be really watered down, but I want to bring that pink in just a little bit. Okay. Just to kind of tie it in to what we got going on. some down here. Maybe some right there, even though you really won't see it that much there, but okay. So I still don't feel like those edges are dark enough. So let me see if I can find something to dab that on, because I hate to. Here's a library card. All right, now we'll set that over to dry. And we'll have the start of something else for another project. Okay. All right, I'm gonna pause you for just a minute and go dry this, and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back and we're all getting dry, and I am going to take, this is, it's a grubby, ground espresso. It's grubby where I set these on top of the lids because it's darker, and I'm going to go around the edges with it because I don't feel like it's grounded around the edges. So we're going to take this darker color and ground it a little better. All right, I like that much better. All right, now comes the fun part. This part makes me nervous. So what we're gonna do is we are going to put our little building on here, like so. And do I want to no, I do not. Okay, I was debating whether I wanted to ink around it, but I don't, because I want to go back in with the blue. And kind of make the edges of this paper disappear. So it looks more like a drawing than a cutout piece of paper. All right, so we want to put our picture on here, like that. If I can pick it up, clean up my glue mess. Got a little bit of squishy out glue there, and trim off this. All right, now what we want to do is we kind of want to make this edge disappear so that it doesn't look like, you know, it's just been cut out. So I'm going to take the speckled egg again and put just a tad. I don't need much. And get some water on my water brush. And I'm gonna go in like right here where it would normally be sky color. You don't want to do a ton of water on this because you don't want it to wick everywhere. Down on your, the part that you want to stay black and white. And then we'll come up the side. And I'm almost thinking I'd like a little bit more of an intense blue than what I've used. Maybe like, especially in some spots. Okay. So we have that. And then, it's not my wet one. I'm gonna grab a little darker blue because I feel like that's not quite intense enough. Okay, let's see what some of these look like. All right, so we've got Stormy Sky. That's more of a gold grayish blue color. And then we have Salty Ocean. That's very intense. That's probably too intense. And then this is Tumbled Glass. Let's try this Tumbled Glass. Sorry, I'm being quiet. concentrating, I guess. I'm gonna put just a tad. Let me see. There's no right or wrong to this. I don't think. I mean, some artists may tell me different, but I think it's just a matter of doing what you like. I feel like I want this side to be darker, so it's kind of showing a shadow off that building, if that makes sense. Okay, come up with that. And see, you can wick this out, you know, any way you want to with the water and make it as intense or as light as you want to. Okay, so there's that. Now, so we don't have such an abrupt ending down here, and I may re-stamp my script there where it got a little muddy too. I'm gonna take, this is called a Stabilo All, and it is a wax pencil, and it moves with water. So I'm gonna make just some little squiggly marks down here that kind of looks like my picture is extended beyond that harsh line. Okay. And then I'm also going to make some little marks up the side of this building and down the side of this building. Like that. All right, and then I'm going to take the water brush, which I have cleaned out now. It's just plain water. And I'm going to touch it to that. And as you can see, that makes this pencil wick. And you can then drag it out and make a shadow. Oops. Went over the little sign that was there. Like so. And then down here, I'm just gonna make some marks. Just so it looks like that's something besides just the end of a piece of paper. And I think I'm going to actually put a little bit right there. And this looks a lot more intense than it's going to look when it dries. And I'll dry it and show you guys. Okay. All right, and then let me go dry it, and then I'm going to tone down this white so it's not so white. Okay, we're all dry, and so I'm going to take my antique linen, make sure I grab the right one. This one's pad's been through the wringer, it looks terrible. And I'm just going to kind of go over very lightly. Just kind of knock down that white a little bit. And then I'm going to go back to my ground espresso. Whoops. Hit these edges one more time. And I'm going to take this script stamp and see if I can't get just down here where it got a little muddy. Where's my stays on? A little bit more of that pink. All right. And that would be it. I can say I'm pretty happy with it. I know that's not everybody's cup of tea, but I'm thinking I'm liking it. And think I'll do the same thing with this other building that I have over here, or something similar, but I think I'll do maybe a journal card or something with it rather than a tag. Let's see how it looks with the journal that I have lost. Okay, oh, there it is. I was like, okay. Yeah, liking that. And I almost wouldn't care to have some kind of little focal point here, but I don't know at this moment what that would be. You know, I might pick up on something in the papers. Like she's got this statue, she's got some butterflies. She's got this statue, a little bit of lace. I don't know that I want lace. I don't want butterflies everywhere. I don't know. We'll think about that and see. See if I think that's something that we need, or maybe just a sentiment or a word there, or something like that. Maybe a better choice. So we will see. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that, and you know, give it a try with the oxides if you haven't already, and you know, experiment, try something new. You're gonna mess up. I mess up all the time, but you know what? It's worth it. It's worth it to learn something new and to try it, and you know, figure it out. And to me, that's part of it, is figuring it out and feeling accomplished when you know, do something and then you think, hey, that looks pretty good. So I hope you guys will try it. And until Saturday, when we're back in the Gypsy Journal, I hope everybody stays safe and stays well, and we'll see you on Saturday. Bye.